Hi, Rob McNeilly here, and I just thought that even though those videos that I've put there are only 2, 3 or 4 minutes long, there's so many of them that I thought it might be feel like a marathon that you're being asked to run to get through them all. So I'm just offering a summary of what they're about in case you want the short version, and also there is a possibility of you signing up and having another view of them if you should want to do that. Anyhow, the main principles that I was wanting to invite us to explore after my time with Milton Erickson. The main principles are that if we think of people as individuals rather than cases, if we realise that everyone's different and has more capacities than they realise, that Erickson reminded us about, that problems, according to Erickson, are not due to some defect in us, but because of some kind of disconnection that we've learnt somehow to limit ourselves, that we've forgotten how to use something that was useful in the past. So then if we're going to help people, it's a matter of not so much fixing them with some problem that they have, but helping them to reconnect with some resource that they have got out of touch with or that they have yet to learn. And in relation to hypnosis, Erickson spoke about the common everyday trance, where we look at a movie, where we get involved with something, we get focused, we get absorbed. And if we think of hypnosis then as an extension of this, and then any experience that involves focus and absorption can be a beginning, can be a source of a hypnotic experience without having to get in all of the weirdness and mystery of the whole hypnotic conversation. That when we do something that we like, we find that we have all the resources that we need right at our fingertips. So it can be just so wonderful to ask a client, what do you like to do? What do you like about that? And just that conversation helps to create a mood of resourcefulness, a mood of competence. And then if we ask someone to, having identified something that they'd like to do, if they could remember that, recall that, re-experience that, invite focus and invite absorption, then we've got a beautiful, respectful, transparent way of inviting someone into a hypnotic experience that's going to fit them and be a resource for them. And if we have the question, what's missing for this person, as distinct from what's wrong with them that needs fixing, then we know what we're looking for. And if we know what we're looking for, what particular resource, is it comfort, is it quietness, is it peace, is it being able to sleep, whatever it is, whatever is missing for them, we know what we're looking for. And if we know where to look, and that's in their likes, we've got a pretty good combination. So we can ask someone to get into their likes, get focused, get absorbed, comment on the changes to validate that we've got a hypnotic experience happening here, and then go looking for the resource that's missing that has the problem be problematic, and find that what's missing so that we can then bring it to the situation and then allow a resolution, a reconnection, and a healing to happen. And sometimes just asking someone what's missing, what are you looking for, will be enough to help someone to reconnect and be okay. And sometimes when we ask someone, what do you like to do and what do you like about that, that actually initiates a connection. And they say, oh, I haven't been doing that in the problem, so I'll start to do that. And more often we need to provide a bridge to help someone to make that connection. And so we can actually say, doing what you like to do is the same as what it's going to be like to have the solution. A woman who liked riding horses, who had a problem with flying, when she was told, flying in a plane is just like riding a horse, that was enough to make the connection for her, and she was able to enjoy the flight. Sometimes that doesn't click, so we can then ask, when you look at what you like, how is that relevant to dealing with the problem, and help the client make the connection. if that doesn't help the connection, we can say when you first learned to do something, whatever it is that you like to do, there was a problem, it was difficult, you thought you couldn't do it, you thought you'd never be able to, blah, 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 and you learned and you were able to do it, and now you're fine with that and you even like it. So in the same way that you learned that, then in that same way you can learn to have those skills in this situation so that you've got the result that you want, not the situation called a problem. Also, that if nothing seems to happen in the session, we can set up an expectancy that doesn't need to happen here, might happen later tonight, next week, while you're watching the news, while you're asleep, and so on. So we're setting up an expectancy, and all of these aspects of this approach help to generate a therapeutic relationship which is respectful, which is empathic, which is unique to each individual person, and is full of expectancy. The one other bit that can be helpful for us to be reminded about is that anytime we get stuck, we're always keen to help someone move on towards their solution. Anytime there's a stuckness, it can be helpful to stop trying to be helpful and just validate the suffering, validate the intensity of the problem, validate just how bad it's been for them, so that once that's acknowledged, once that's validated, then they feel that they can be where they are and then start to move on. So anyhow, that's a short summary of what all of those videos were about, and I hope that that you can find some of this, any of this, all of this relevant to your work, relevant to your learning, relevant to your experience. So thank you for being part of this, thank you for listening, and let me know if there's anything that I can do to clarify or anything that I can do that will extend this. Thanks so much.